Have a nice day. Today is a Monday, 14th of now October, 2024. Every year, World Standards Day is marked on October 14. Individuals and organizations are commemorated for their participation in the production and implementation of the international standards. From the history point of view, in 1956, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, leader of the India's untouchable caste, converts to Buddhism, along with the 385,000 of his followers. Neo-Buddhism, 1956, remember the date. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper The Hindu states that China holds large naval air force exercises surrounding Taiwan and its outlying islands. This handout from China's People Liberation Army (PLS) to Eastern Theater Command, released on October 14, 2024, shows a map of the locations of the Joint SWAT 2024B military drills being conducted by China around Taiwan. China conducts military exercises near Taiwan in a response to President Li's refusal to acknowledge Chinese demands. China was holding large-scale military exercises surrounding Taiwan and its outlying islands on Monday, October 14, 2024. China's Defense Ministry said the drills were a response to Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te's refusal to concede to Beijing's demands that Taiwan acknowledge itself as a part of the People's Republic of China under the rule of the Communist Party. Taiwan's defense ministry called the drills a provocation and said its forces were prepared to respond. Mr. Lai took office in May month of the 2024, continuing the 8-year rule of the Democratic Progressive Party that rejects China's demand that it recognize Taiwan is a part of China. China routinely states that Taiwan independence is a dead end and that annexation by Beijing is historical inevitability. Neither India nor Pakistan has asked for a bilateral meeting at Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said the government plan to welcome India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar with the full protocol as is Pakistan's duty as a good host. Neither India nor Pakistan has requested a bilateral meeting when External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar lands in the Islamabad for Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Heads of government meet on October 15-16, said Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar. He said that the government plans to welcome Mr. Jaishankar with the full protocol as is Pakistan's duty a good host. As a good host, comments that follow Mr. Jaishankar's remark last week that he would attend the meeting as a good member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. While Mr. Jaishankar and other leaders of the 10-member Shanghai Cooperation Organization, including Iranian Vice President Mohammad Reza Arif and Prime Minister from Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan are expected to land on Tuesday in Islamabad. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin and Chinese Premier Li Qiang will arrive a day early on Monday for bilateral meeting with the Pakistani leadership. Now, going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper also states that the need of nuance in India-Pakistan relations. Once again, the security personnel stand guard in the front of the presidential palace ahead of a Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in Islamabad on October 13, 2024. Pakistan authorities were on October 13 preparing to shut down the capital ahead of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit, overshadowed by recent militant violence and political unrest. India is a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization since its member countries cover a large landmass and a population of Eurasia. Its deliberations are important for Delhi, therefore India's representation at its meeting should be a routine affair, but not when a meeting takes place in Pakistan, as is the case with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Heads the government meeting on October 15 and 16. After all, no senior Indian functionary has visited Pakistan since Defense Minister Rajnath Singh did in August 2016 to attend the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation (SAARC) Home Interior Minister meeting. SAARC remains installed since Delhi's decision in 2016 not to attend its summit scheduled to take place in Islamabad. The suspense over India's participation at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meet ended with the government announcement that External Affairs Minister S. Shankar would attend the meeting. That triggered speculation if bilateral engagement on its margins is on the cards. The minister, however, clarified that he was not going to Islamabad to discuss bilateral relations, but to be a good member of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, notwithstanding the remark on a structural pull aside interactions are not unknown in such situations, but even if it takes place, the most question is if it can make any difference to the bilateral relationship. Pakistan remains fixated on India reversing its August 5, 2019 move abrogation of Article 370 for any bilateral engagement. India will have to see whether restoration of statehood of Jammu and Kashmir, whenever our government deems its appropriate, amounts to a face saver for Pakistan. Anti-India rhetoric by the army led by Pakistani establishment remains high, and Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's aggressive anti-India stance in his recent United Nations General Assembly speech was anything but a signal for constructive engagement. Islamabad's preoccupation with its internal problems also make it difficult for a major foreign policy initiative. Teetering on the brink of a sovereign default, its economy has got a reprieve as a result of the recent International Monetary Fund. A bailout package of $7 billion. Terror and violence remains alive. Political polarization is at its peak with the recent agitation by Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, polarizing Islamabad to the point of this raising concerns about the holding the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting in the city. On the India side, the political discourse in recent years has tapped into the justified public anger at Pakistan's conduct and shrunk the space for diplomacy. Against this backdrop, the chances of any positive development on the bilateral front during the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's visit remain slim. However, it is good that Delhi has eschewed a dogmatic approach by deciding to send the minister to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's meeting. Besides being appropriate in the context of the India's SCO membership, it may also offer an opportunity to gauge the intentions of Pakistani establishment behind its jarring public rhetoric. Grand strategy: the age of a nuclear adventurism. In this photo, distributing by Russian Defense Ministry press service on the Saturday, October 12, 2024, a view of the strategic nuclear-powered submarine missile cruiser Prince Vladimir of the Borai project, as a Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belosov inspects the military and social infrastructure facilities of the Northern Fleet as a part of the working visit to the Murmansk region of Russia. Civil society organizations too need to be accountable. The think tanks are important in shaping public policy and informing decision makers through the rigorous research and analysis. In India, there are civil society organizations that continuously draw attention to the fact that the law is not applied equally to the rich and powerful, and yet when they are accused of violating the law, they call it unfair and allege intimidation by the state. Think tanks are important in the shaping policy, public policy, and informing decision makers through the rigorous research and analysis. They serve as a bridge between the academic knowledge and practical application, and provide valuable insights that help address complex social, economic, and political challenges. By engaging in policy advocacy and public discourse, these think tanks influence the development of the laws and regulations, often working closely with the government agencies, non-profits, and private sector. Israel to target military and energy sites. Iran warns of no red lines. A gas flare on an oil production platform is seen alongside the Iranian flag in the Gulf. United States officials believe Israel is focusing on a military and energy infrastructure as a potential targets in its expected response to an Iranian missile strike earlier this month. NBC News reported Saturday, citing unnamed officials. The report suggests Israel has narrowed down its options in relation for the Iran's October 1st attack, which followed Israeli military actions in Gaza and Lebanon and the killing of several Hezbollah and Hamas leaders. The missile barrage was Tehran's second direct retaliation this year, escalation tensions in the region. Israel-Hezbollah fight escalates. Meanwhile, the clash between the Israel and Hezbollah, which erupted a year ago during the Gaza war, have worsened in recent weeks. The Israeli military continues operations aimed at dismantling Hezbollah infrastructure in the southern Lebanon. Over the past day, the Air Force has struck approximately 200 Hezbollah targets deep in the Lebanon and the southern Lebanon, including terrorist cells, launchers, anti-tank missile posts, and terrorist infrastructure sites, the Israeli military said. From the economy point of view, going towards the business, rupee hits an all-time low of 84 against the United States dollar, factors leading to the fall and the outlook. Analysts said the rupee has not fallen below the 84 as the Reserve Bank of India has been protecting the level for the last 2 months. On September 12, the local currency had fallen to a record of low of 83.99 against the United States dollar. The domestic currency ended at 84.07 against the United States dollar on Friday before dropping to 84.10 during the day. Senior living in India as demand expands beyond the South, developers and policymakers try to keep up. Unlike in the United States, where the leasing model is the dominant choice of the clients looking to move into the senior living units, the majority of the demand in India comes from the senior eager to purchase units. Unlike markets like the United States, where leasing dominates, Indian seniors overwhelmingly prefer to purchase their homes. DIIs by rupees 57,792 crore in stocks offset FPI sales of rupees 58,394 crore in October month so far. The corruption, the largest institutional investor, invested rupees 38,000 crore in the stock market in June month of quarter and rupees 1,32,000 crore in the previous financial year. The building stock exchange Sensex had fallen by 2,885 points from 84,266.29 on October 1st to 81,381.36 on October 11. Now going towards the world news, including Hezbollah drone attack kills 4 Israeli soldiers, injuries 60 others in one of the deadliest attack on Tel Aviv. Trump pulls even in the United States presidential poll. Harris popularity declines, poll suggests. Capture documents reveal Hamas's broader ambitions to attack Israel. Did not sign up for a weekly church. Jerry Vane feels terrible for taking his wife Usha Vainisi to the church. Israel's Lebanon conflict live updates: at the least 4 Israeli soldiers killed, once again 7 injured in Hezbollah's drone attack in northern Israel, confirms IDF. Venezuela cancels passports of the journalists and activists following a Maduro's re-election. Now going towards science and tech, we have Ladakh Aurorans validate space weather tracking efforts. Scientists say a rare red-colored aurora observed over the Han Lake Dark Sky Reserve in Ladakh, May 11, 2024. While aurora are known for their scenic beauty, their occurrence in lower latitude regions like Ladakh is an indication of heightened solar activity. Ladakh's recent sighting of aurora marked by reddish or greenish light in the night sky and usually observed in the far northern regions is a validation of our efforts in space weather monitoring. A team of astrophysicists that predicted the activity about 48 to 72 hours prior said. All sky cameras of the Bangalore-based Indian Institute of Astrophysics (IIA) at Hanal and Merak in Ladakh captured the aurora throughout the night. Dibindu Nandi, head of the Center of Excellence in Space Sciences India (CESSI) at the Indian Institutions of Science Education and Research (IISER) Kolkata, told PTI, the aurora sightings are a validation that we are on the right track. It boosts our confidence to predict extreme weather events in the space that can potentially endanger all kinds of satellite-based services on the Earth, bringing modern society to a standstill. Doctors' agitation highlights India's need for the universal healthcare analysis. People hold a banner during the junior doctors' fast unto death, demanding justice for the victim of the Arjikar Hospital rape murder case in Kolkata on October 9, 2024. West Bengal's healthcare expenditure is 1% of its gross state domestic product, and 68% of the healthcare expenses in the state are out of pocket, the second worst in India after the Uttar Pradesh. Once again, the rape and murder of the doctor at the Kolkata's Arjikar Hospital, Medical Hospital College, triggered nationwide protests. At present, junior doctors in Kolkata have been on a hunger strike for 9 days, and their peers in other parts of the state have expressed support with the symbolic strikes of their own. 3 doctors on the hunger strike have already had to be hospitalized after their condition deteriorated. The state government has thus far punished many police and administrative officials. Even though breaks in their agitation, the health workers have maintained that their underlying issues are far from resolved. Their protesters have sought, among the other things, a complete overhaul health care system. They have reported working 36-hour shifts with the meagre allowances, no proper restrooms or toilets, and being left vulnerable to violence in the workplace. These working conditions of health workers are not restricted to the West Bengal. A report of the Indian Medical Association in 2018 said 75% of the doctors in India have at some point been exposed to harassment or physical violence inside the health centers or hospitals, largely due to the attack of the infrastructure, medicines, long working hours, and excessive political interference. Yet successive governments, both the centre and in the state, have swept these pressing issue under the rug. At last, there's a famous quotation said by a famous president of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, whose full name was Ul Pakir General Abdul Abdul Kalam, birth anniversary 15th of October 1931, after 27th of July 2015, was an Indian aerospace scientist and a statesman who served as the 11th president of India from 2002 to 2007. Born and raised in the Muslim family in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, he studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and a science administrator, mainly at the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, and Indian Space Research Organization, and was intimately involved in India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. He thus came to be known as the Missile Man of India for his work on the development of the ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical, and a political role in the India's Pokhran second nuclear tests in the 1998. The first is the original nuclear test by India in 1974. Kalam was elected as the 11th president of India in 2002 with the support of the both ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the then opposition Indian National Congress. Widely referred to as the People's President, he returned to his civilian life of education, writing, and public service after his single term. He was a recipient of several prestigious awards, including Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. While delivering a lecture in the IIM, Indian Institute of Management, Shillong, Kalam collapsed and died from an apparent cardiac arrest on the 27th of July 2015, aged 83. Thousands, including national-level dignitaries, attend the funeral ceremony held in the hometown of Rameshwaram, where he was buried with full state honors. Mr. Kalam says a famous quotation. He says that a door is much smaller compared to the house, a lock is much smaller compared to the door, and a key is the smallest of all, but a key can open an entire house. Thus, a small, thoughtful solution can solve major problems. Okay, thank you.